Okay, so the second part of this is graphing by using a table. So the first thing we need to do is find the axis of symmetry and the vertex. So let's write down our equation from the front. So it's negative b over 2a. So I'm going to write that down up here. So that way I remember how to find the axis of symmetry. Remember our function looks like this. In case you forget what letters go where. We're going to place the vertex as the middle row, and then we go just numbered up and down to complete the table and then graph. So let's do our first function right here, negative 3x squared. So first step, find the axis of symmetry. So remember that's A, that means B is 0x. So it's negative 0 over 2 times negative 3, which means 0 is going to be in the middle of our chart. If I plug 0 into this function, it'd be 0 for my y value. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in the opposite direction on both sides. And you could even just do negative 3 and then put whatever x is right here squared. And then that way I could just re-enter everything. Second entry. I'm just going to change that to a negative 2 to make this table fill in way quicker. Second entry, negative 1. Let's make that a positive 1. So I filled my table in and I just used those points. So I usually would start here, then negative 1, negative 3, positive 1, negative 3, and then 2 to negative 12, which would be off the graph. So I'm just going to plot those points. Now domain is your x values. That would be all real numbers because we know this would expand forever in both directions. Your range is everything below 0. So y is less than or equal to 0. So let's do number 6. I have f of x squared minus 6x plus 11. My first step is find the axis of symmetry. So we're going to do negative b, so that's positive 6 over 2 times a. A would be 1. So 3 would be our x value. So I'm going to plug that in here, right in the middle of my chart. I need to find out what y would be, so I'm going to take that equation. So it would be, let's put in parentheses for x, 3 squared minus 6 times 3. Plus 11. So all those x's, I'm really just putting a 3. So f of x would be 2. That's my vertex. And remember, just go down and go up. So now I'm just going to hit second entry. And I'm going to change that to 0. All right, so this one's 11. Now I'm going to change it second entry to 1s. So that's 6. Second entry, I'm going to change them to 2s. Now I have to change them to 4s. Notice it just reflects back up, so there we go. Because we know it's a parabola. So I'll plot 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. That's my vertex. Then there's 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 5, 6, and then 1, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and then the rest would be off the graph. So I'm going to draw here. My range is going to be all real, or my domain is all real numbers because it would go on forever left and right. My range is everything above 2. So y is greater than or equal to 2. Let's do another one. Let's do number 7. For number 7, again, first step, let's find the vertex. So negative b, so that would be positive 2 times a, so 2 times 2, so that's 8 over 4, which is just 2. That goes right in the center. Type that equation in. I think this video glitched. Hold on. So then what I'm going to do is I need to type in 2. In parentheses, I put 2 because that's my x value, squared minus 8 times 2, also in parentheses because that's my x, plus 6. So my y is negative 2. I'm going to go up and down. So 1, 0, negative 1, 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to hit second entry, and I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to put 1 and 1. So that would be 0. I'm going to do second entry. I'm just going to fill in everything from this table. Put a 0, 0, so that would be 6. Let's do the same thing with negative 1, second entry. Ooh, I have to insert second, insert a parenthesis. I'm going to do second, insert negative, and then 1. All right. So that's 16. I just want to double check that I'm doing this right, so I'm going to fill this in with 3s. Yes, so it's going to repeat back. All right, so now I could start graphing. So 2, negative 2 would be my vertex. 1, 2, 1, 2. Then it's going to be 3, 0, 1, 0. Oh, that should be here. Then it's 0, 6. So I'm just going to put an X on that one because I graphed it wrong. Then it's 1, 0, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this would be 4, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then up to the same spot. So again, there's my parabola. My domain is all reals. And my range would be everything greater than or equal to negative 2. Let's jump over to the piecewise function just so that we could do that. And give us a refresher. So the first thing I always like to do is I like to look here, open circle, close circle, because there's no line, and this one has a line, and we're going to put a dotted line on negative 4. 4. All right, so this first graph is on the left of negative 4 because its x values are less than, and it's just in y equals mx plus b, which means my slope here is 2, my y-intercept is 5, and I'm just going to start with that on this right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means down 2 over 1, 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 down 2 over 1. So I only am going to draw the line on this side, and remember to make a nice big open circle, and we're going to go to the left. So that side's easy because that's just slope-intercept form. Now I need to make my little chart for this graph, but first I need to find negative b over 2a. So that would be negative 3 over 2 times 1, which would then be negative 1.5. So then let me make an xy chart. So I have negative 1.5. I'm just going to do negative 2, negative 3. I'll do negative 1, 0, and 1. So let's fill in to that equation. So I'm just going to take negative 1.5 squared plus 3 times negative 1.5. So it's negative 2.25. So then let's do the other points. Let's do second entry. I'm going to make it negative 1. So negative 1 would get negative 2. Second entry, let's do negative 2. Which was B, negative 2. Second entry, let's do negative 3. 0. And let's do 0. Second entry. Which is also 0. So let's graph these points all on this side. So negative 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. Negative 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Negative 1.5, and then go down 2.5, so like here. Then we're going to do negative 1, 2, 1, 2. So it's just a very tiny parabola, and then 0, 0. And we're going to do a nice closed circle here. My domain is all real numbers on both sides. My range, it's everything below negative 3, so y is below negative 3, and since it's an open circle, I'm just going to make it an inequality without the line under it. And then on this side, I would say the range is everything above 2.25. And that would be our range.